Hi guys, it's Kevin Al from Infinite Wealth. Today we're going to go over 5 things you need to do right now to prepare for the coronavirus. You know, a lot has happened in the last week. Stores have become crazy. I'm a pharmacist. I work for Sam's Club. We've seen unprecedented levels of volume and traffic in our stores for this time of the year. Just for example, on March 5th and 6th, we saw about a 20% increase in traffic, which is not a big deal. But then last Thursday, Friday, so March 12th and 13th, we saw between 200 to 300% in traffic. Supply chains are getting overwhelmed. People are starting to panic. We don't want to panic, but we do want to be prepared. So the first thing of the 5 things, since I'm a pharmacist, medications. If you have not thought about your medications, don't wait till you're down to the last 2 or 3. A lot of insurance companies are giving overrides for 90-day supplies or early refills. What I would suggest you do, don't go in, call up your pharmacist, see if they can run your prescriptions through, see if they can be filled early, and then ask them if they have the drug in stock. If they don't make an extra trip to the pharmacy. If they do, give them some time to get it ready. We have been seeing some volume spikes, but I think you do have a window of opportunity now. They haven't started limiting people's movement, telling people to stay home or anything like that yet. So I do think you have a brief window. So you do want to take stock of your medications. Make sure you have plenty of your chronic medications. So if you have diabetes, asthma, high blood pressure, heart conditions, anything like that, make sure you have plenty on hand. You don't want to run out. We don't really know what's going to happen, so just be prepared. And then also while you're doing that, think about over-the-counter medications. So the coronavirus is a cold virus, flu virus, depending on who you ask. When I went through school, we learned it as a cold. So think about cold medicines. You're not having the diarrhea and the GI effects, but you are having temperature. So now you're looking at Tylenol, ibuprofen, naproxen. If you don't have a thermometer, possibly try to find a thermometer. They're pretty short supply now. And then next you want to think about cold medicine. So Dayquil, NyQuil, Tylenol cold, Tylenol flu, Theraflu, the green box of Mucinex. Have some decongestant, some Sudafed on hand. You can also try to buy some vitamin C, emergency or airborne. Those are supposed to help boost immunity. Just have those on hand. We were planning on going on a trip in a couple weeks, so we bought a box of airborne. We're going to take it before going on the flight. With everything that's happened, we've decided not to go on the trip. So start thinking about those things now too. Number 2 is water. Want to make sure you have a couple cases of water on hand. There's no reason to think that the city water is not going to work, but you need water to survive, so it's not going to hurt you to have a couple cases of water on hand. What I've done with my children since they're still in school, we bought them both a new hydro flask. They fill that up with water before they go to school. And then we have bottled water available. They put 2 or 3 bottles in their backpack. They take it for them with school. That way they're not have to fill up or drink out of the water fountain, so you're minimizing their contact with that. That's a real good idea. You might want to think about that if your kids are still in school. Number 3 is food. If anybody went to the grocery store this last weekend, a lot of things were sold out. But now it's Monday. They've gotten trucks in, they've gotten replenishment. What I did today is I got up early. I went to my Sam's Club at 7 o'clock this morning. They were just unloading trucks from overnight and stocking everything that came in. So they had toilet paper out. So I got 2 things of toilet paper. They had paper towels, I picked those up. And they had just got in 2 pallets of rice, so I got 100 pounds of rice. We don't normally eat rice, but we don't really know what's going to happen. We do know that there's a possibility of us being quarantined for 14 days if one of us gets sick. And then I've heard in Iowa up to 8 weeks they're thinking about limiting travel and limiting movement. So you want to have at least 14 days of food on hand. A lot of the stuff you can just buy things you normally do. Try to stick to more of the dry grocery things. We do have Mountain House on hand. We keep some of these number 10 cans. It's just dehydrated food. You add water. We use them for camping, but they're also useful in emergencies like this. And then we do have food storage pails. So each pail here is 30 days of food for one person. This one is from Sam's Club, but it's from Augustin's Farms. Those are on back order. But some sites are letting you order them and put them on back order. So you might want to think about that. So if this passes and you've been worried about food and it's giving you anxiety, buy a few of these things. They're good for 25 years. They're all sealed up in Mylar bags. All you have to do is boil water, add them to the pouch, and you're ready to go. Another good thing to pick up is just canned goods. They have long expiration dates. Buy things that you normally eat. Black beans, high in protein, fiber, good source of nutrition, so be thinking about things like that. Then I just picked up these items today. If you're in a crunch for breakfast, you get Quaker oats, cup of oats, any protein powder. These are all still available, so 1 scoop of protein powder in your cup of oats, 10 or 15 almonds. And then I didn't bring it down from upstairs. You can put a scoop of coconut oil in there to give it some fat. That's a well-balanced, nutritious meal. Serve it for breakfast. Kids can eat it. It's relatively cheap. All the ingredients are still readily available. All right, number 4, cash. So if you don't have any cash around the house, we don't know what's going to happen with the banks if panic ensues. So go to the ATM, withdraw some cash, just keep it around the house. If you do have some extra money in the bank, pull out a month's worth of expenses. Just keep it in the house, and that way you know that you do have cash on hand if you need it. Number 5 is a family plan. You want to start thinking about what you're going to do with your children if they do close school. Today is Monday the 16th. My children are in school. We did send them. We're not worried about that. But starting tomorrow, they are off for 13 days, so they have closed their school. So that means several things. Generally, my children eat breakfast and lunch at school. So now they're not going to school, so that's part of the reason I made the Sam's trip today. I bought some extra food for breakfasts and lunches for them. We don't normally eat at home. Wanted to make sure we have plenty of food for them to eat, normal food. We're not going to start doing anything crazy with the extra food that we have. We're just going to eat normally. If this ends up being gone, we can't get more food, then you dip into your emergency food. Now maybe you're at a job where you can work remotely, which is great, so then you can stay home for your children. Otherwise, you're going to have to find some way to have someone watch them or something for them to do. Some of you will be lucky enough, they'll be old enough to stay home by themselves, but then you need to think about how they're going to be entertained for 2 weeks. We put a big book order in on Amazon last night. We don't normally let my son play a lot of PlayStation, but we let him pick a new PlayStation game. We figured we'll let him play that an hour or so a day. The school's plan is to send homework packets and homework home, but my experience, that's not going to be 6 or 7 hours worth of homework like a school day. My children, if they ever miss school and they send work home, they're doing it in 30 minutes to an hour tops. So you're going to have to find something for your kids to do. Depending on where you live, maybe it's warmer, so they can go outside and play, they can do other things. If they're not in school, don't have them interacting with other kids. It kind of defeats the whole purpose. So playing outside's fine, just have them play in your yard, you know, with each other or by themselves. So those are 5 things, just my thoughts of some things you can do now. I think we have a brief window of time that you can get all this stuff done before they start closing more and more things. I would imagine that the pharmacies and grocery stores will not close. No other countries have done that, so not to worry about that too much, but just be prepared. Make sure you have some stuff at home. Make sure you're not running really short on everything. Thank you for watching my video about some of my thoughts on 5 things you can do to get prepared now. Just keep in mind these are simple, easy things to do. One thing I didn't go into was advice on shopping. Some observations since I work at Sam's Club. Thursday and Friday last week were crazy busy. We had thousands of people in the store. You had 1 to 2 hour waits. If you're really truly worried about catching this virus from somebody else, that's probably the last time you want to be shopping. When the store is full of people, you're risking exposure yourself. So for example, this morning I went at 7 a.m. when they opened. There was hardly anyone in the store. The shelves were fully stocked. Everything that's coming on the truck, they've rolled out overnight. So you have your best chance of getting any items that you're looking for in the morning. A lot of times when it gets so busy during the day, they're unable to bring more items out onto the floor in stock. So just think about that with your store, your local grocery store. If they close at overnight, go there early in the morning before work. Make sure you just get in, get all your things, not too many people in there, get out, go back home. And I really appreciate you watching my video today. Thanks for taking your time, listening to some of my thoughts on things you can do to get prepared. Just start thinking in this way, start doing little things, make sure you are prepared. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Do not panic. Just make sure you have things to take care of yourself or your family if you have one, and be safe. Don't do anything crazy. If things start to get crazy, just stay home, hunker down, wait for it all to pass. If you've enjoyed this video today and you feel you've gotten something out of it, please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell. If you have a comment, leave it below. I do really appreciate you taking some time to watch my video. I have a couple more on coronavirus coming out this week, hopefully, if I don't get called into work. Stay tuned for those, and we'll talk to you next time.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.